I've always had a passion for being around and learning about animals. When I was younger, going to zoos and animal parks was always a part of my life. I wanted to share my passion with family and friends, so I started working with people that loved animals as much as I did, and my YouTube channel was born. Welcome back to my animal education series. Today we're at the Mystic Aquarium with Steph. Hello.
Hi.
What do we have here behind us?
This is our Stingray Bay. We have quite a few species in our Stingray Bay, different stingrays, as well as our green sea turtle. We also have a spotted wobegon. Two of our species, one is flying by now. We have our Cownose ray. Our southern stingray is parked down here. And we also have Atlantic stingrays, which are about this big, and they're also cruising along the bottom. We might see one swim by. They're kind of a little bit shyer. There's one underneath the dock there.
So what do these stingrays eat in the wild?
Out in the open ocean, these guys would eat a mixture of clam, shrimp, small fish. They get very similar things here in our exhibit. We hand feed our Cownose rays so that when they're out at our ray touch pool, they can also come and eat from the public. So we keep that hand feeding association very strong. But they do get fed clam, shrimp, capelin, squid, as well as smelt. They get a wide variety so that we can hit all those nutritional values.
Is there any difference between the different species in here for food requirements, or?
In the open ocean, they would eat different things because they'd be found in different places. We have some that'll be found, we'll say, in the Caribbean. We have some that can be found, Cownose rays are found as far north as Chesapeake Bay, but they do also migrate as far as the furthest tip of Florida. So they're going to find all sorts of different things up and down there. Our Atlantic rays are typically going to be found in the Atlantic, kind of all along the bottom, but they're going to be found a little bit more shallow. So they're going to have access to different things, but the different types of food that we offer them kind of hit all those key nutrients.
And how do you care for the sea turtle?
Charlotte gets a nice mixture of vegetables. We offer her romaine, red pepper, green beans, bok choy. She's got her preferences, so she really loves red pepper. We don't know if it's a color or a taste thing, but that seems to be her biggest treat. So we try to keep her on a vegetarian-based diet because she is a green sea turtle. That's what they would typically eat out in the wild, nori, different types of seafood.
As some people might have seen that they have boxes on her back. What are those for?
So Charlotte came to us as a injured sea turtle from the Georgia Sea Turtle Center. She was hit by a boat in North Carolina. She was then brought to the Georgia Sea Turtle Center for rehabilitation, and once she was rehabbed, she came to Mystic Aquarium. Right now she's on loan for us, and to kind of help where she was injured, it caused a gas buildup in her hind end, also called bubble butt disease. So she started to get curvatures in her shell because of the way the gas made her negatively buoyant. So her hind end would float, and then the rest of her wanted to stay down. So those weight pouches helped combat that weight issue. We did have to move the placement of the pouches so that it doesn't hinder her shell growth.
Are any of these stingrays fully grown, or no?
Some of them are. We do have what we consider a younger population. We have started to see mating behaviors and things like that, but not necessarily like ones you can see in an older population. We do have some that are full grown. Wingtip to wingtip, they get about 1.5 to 2 feet, and they can weigh anywhere from 13 to 20 kilograms. Most of ours largest ones are between 13 and 15 kilograms.
What are some of your favorite things about these stingrays?
Some of my favorite things, they're extremely beautiful to watch, and it's an extremely calming exhibit to be in, as well external or internal, but also they're very food motivated animals, so when we show up to feed them, they kind of swarm the area that we're feeding, and it's really hard not to feel like they're coming to greet you. So it's very heartwarming, and it definitely makes the day much better.
What kind of predators will try to eat stingrays like any of these?
Their predators are going to be large fish, groupers. For some of the smaller rays, these guys get quite large, so it's typically going to be sharks or people.
What adaptations do they have to try to combat sharks and avoid being eaten?
So as their name implies, they are stingrays, so they do have a barb, different placement for different species, but they can whip their tail around much like a scorpion, and they'll inject that barb into their predator. Most of the time it's going to break off. Very rarely do they keep them. So once it breaks off, that's their opportunity to bolt. But their biggest way to get away from a predator is going to be to run. So unless they're in a fight or flight situation, they're usually just going to either swim away extremely fast. These guys are very quick on a dive, or some of them, you might notice, will hide in the sand and they'll stay hidden.
like this little circular one over here was kind of I was saying earlier.
Yes, yep. And it's a normal behavior, so it's not necessarily only a predatory thing. Sometimes you just kind of, it's a rainy day and you want to snuggle up in your blanket, but you're not necessarily going to go to sleep.
Well, thank you so much, Steph, for telling
My
us about this
pleasure.
Stingrays.
Very, very nice to meet you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And if you guys enjoyed this week's episode, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up down below, subscribe to my channel, and also check out my Instagram @kosher. As always, I'll see you next week.